Hey guys, Chris Dover here, head systems trader at MacroOp and your newly appointed director of security. You're lucky. You got that appointed to you for free. Don't even have to pay for it. So like I mentioned yesterday, I've been in security and consulting and crisis management, as well as technology, finance, and a big helping of statistics and data over all of that. And that's really what we're going to get down to right now. So a lot of times people will see articles and headlines and takeaways, this researcher from this famous school says this, and that becomes the headline. You can get caught up in statistics, and it's more important to know how statistics are done and how they're going to affect it. So why I bring that up is because there was a report released just recently with a predictive analytics analysis of how to treat or how to defend on a societal population level the pandemic COVID-19 coronavirus. The reason I bring it up and the reason I say it's important is because these are what policymakers, these are the things that are being implemented right now and being reinforced over and over and over. So it's important to understand why they're doing it and what to expect. Fear is based on lack of knowing, fear of the unknown, or fear of loss. So when time of fear and time of drama, we're mostly worried that we're going to lose something or that we don't know what's about to happen or what to expect. So that's what this is all about. We're going to talk about what to expect. First things first, this pandemic is expected to hit its peak mid-May to June timeframe. So that's the absolute highest, and then it's going to drop. We are currently over capacity in almost every medical system, medical facility, ICU in the States, more so in the densely populated area, obviously, and they're doing things to deal with that. So it's our job to not cause that to get out of hand. So when you think about that, we're still not at peak. And we're currently above a infectious rate of it's like 2.4, 2.5 per person. That is, if you have the coronavirus, it's expected on average that you're going to infect 2.4 to 2.5 or 2 to 3 other people. This is why it's so important that you are not out there going out doing things. Even if you don't have any symptoms of the coronavirus, you need to not be part of the problem by spreading it to people who may have compromised immune systems, or their response, more importantly, to the immune system is actually what's important, is whether they have good immune systems or bad. It's your job to do what you can to make sure you're strong, but that's not the only intervention. That's the only thing you have. So there's 5 things that the governments are looking to do if they're not already doing right now. And the reason I say we should talk about that is because this is what to expect. Plan accordingly. Adjust your business, your family, your teams, all the things that you're planning on, even your travels, around this, okay? The first thing is 7-day quarantine on infected people at home, okay? Think about that, because people are dying on day 5 sometimes. So if they're saying you're not allowed into the hospital until day 7, then it could be bad. So think about that coming in down the pipe. And this is why it's important to get tested or get analyzed by a doctor. And when I say analyzed, I mean telemedicine. Get on the phone video call with a doc who does telemedicine, and they're strictly binary, saying those are symptoms you actually have that are similar, go. Those are not symptoms, those don't have anything to do with it, stay, treat yourself, go get some ibuprofen or some Robitussin or something like that, right? They're triaging on a massive basis digitally. And if you can start the day 1 where you got your doctor saying, yep, that's going to be corona, you have that 7-day window. So that's important. Okay, second thing they're doing is they are quarantining the family of people for 14 days. This is what's being talked about. So let's say, I come down with coronavirus. Everybody in this household will be required legally to stay quarantined in the house for 14 days. Okay, so think about this, of getting forced to stay in your home with somebody who may pass it around or something like that. That's kind of crazy, but that's happening. The third thing they're talking about, and they've already done this in a lot of places, is the study was for 70-year-olds, but we've heard 65-year-olds in the United States quite a bit being forced to whatever the term is, stay at home, not go out. These are the highest risk, mortality risk, and of course, if we can keep them from being infected, that's less people dying, and maybe people who have a fighting chance to not die. The younger people, maybe they get it. The next one is obviously self-quarantine, or social distancing for everybody, and I think everybody's pretty much doing this right now. I know that there's a lot of people who are not able to. Maybe you're in the line of work that is essential, and you're not able to stay home from work, or you're in a position where you just can't do it. Well, I'm not saying anything about that, but it could be illegal to do things here shortly. That there's a possibility. There's a lot of funding that just got released or got approved, and it's going to go into helping deal with the economic situation. It hasn't hit the markets. They're not writing checks yet or anything like that, but it's there, and it's been approved, and it's available. And then the fifth thing would be closing schools, universities, bars, restaurants, places where people are going to be there longer than just casually passing by, right? So stores, in and out of a store, open. Bar, sitting in, circulating the air, closed. Schools and universities and everything. And that's already happened on schools, a lot of schools and universities, most, I think, maybe extending through spring break or into the beginning of the next school year and homeschooling. Who knows? But that's going to be one of the bigger ways to do it. Now, with all those 5 things that they're talking about, they've shown that a 67% improvement in, statistically, the predictive models have shown a 67% improvement in the effect of coronavirus on society. So unmitigated 2.2 million deaths in the United States this year. Mitigated, you're looking more around the 400,000 level. So that's a massive change, a massive effect that this staying home and not infecting other people will have on society. And I guarantee this is why the finance or the government got so much capital to put to work, because it's going to really change everything about our economy, education, and everything. Now, what's going to happen is in May, June, when this thing peaks and it starts dropping, you're gonna see it, and you're gonna start maybe in July and August. People are gonna start, all clear. You're gonna get the all clear sound, and everybody is going to go out and party and travel and do everything they couldn't do for the last quarter because it's been tough. Well, just because we're all clear, that's not every case is gone. That just means we're on the downward slope and we have control over it. So what's going to happen is next fall, when all these things that were canceled in the spring happen, Boston Marathon, school year starts, all these different things that all got canceled here are going to start again, and it's all just going to be passed around. So we're going to shoot right back up September, October, November for another bout, and it's going to continue to do that. So what they're likely going to do is we're going to go into modes of those 5 things, that package of 5 things: self-isolation, triage, and all those, canceling schools and everything. And then, so they're going to have off-on switches. So case per 100,000 will probably be the trigger. So, below 50 cases per 100,000 population, we're off self-isolation. Above, we're back in. So we may go back and forth on that quite a bit. Now, a vaccine for this is still probably 18 months out. At least that's what the model said. So think about this might be ping-ponging for the next year and a half. That's, maybe a year, because you can say that it started in November. But you got to understand, this is not going to be done right away. What we choose to do and how we respond to it is more important. And so Amazon just hired 100,000 people. UPS, Costco, all these big logistics systems are still in place, and they're going to be working. They're still working. All this is going to happen. We're going to start getting things delivered. That's not going to dry up. It's just going to be different. Okay, so we can talk about ways that they're going to enforce it, and repercussions and benefits and all the economic stuff behind it in other videos. Ask your questions below. If you do have a family or business or anything, and you want to some advice, reach out, hit me, and I'll do what I can to help you out. Love you all. Stay safe, and let's do this.